A Boeing 777 vanishes. Do a Tiga Sembilan people gone. No trace, no distress call, no explosion, just a routine flight to Beijing that never arrived. The silence is deafening. The last words. Good night Malaysian 370. Calm, professional, utterly normal. Then nothing. Military radar reveals the plane turned back. Across the Malay Peninsula, flying low to avoid detection. A deliberate act. For hours, the plane flew on. No one knows who was at the controls. The mystery deepens with every passing minute. Satellite data confirms the final destination. The southern Indian Ocean, one of the most remote places on Earth. The largest search in aviation history begins. Ships, planes, submarines scour millions of square kilometers. Nothing. Years later, only a few pieces of debris wash ashore. The main wreckage remains hidden. Swallowed by the sea, families wait. They demand answers, but the ocean keeps its secrets. Hope fades into grief. Theories explode. Hijacking, pilot suicide, even alien abduction. But no single explanation fits all the facts. Why no distress call? Why fly for hours off course? The questions multiply. The answers remain elusive. Tiga Tujunal is not just a missing plane. It is a modern mystery that challenges our faith in technology and truth. To understand what happened that night, we must first know the man at the controls. Captain Zahari Ahmad Shah was 53 years old, a veteran with over 18,000 flying hours. He was respected by colleagues and had no history of mental illness or financial trouble. His record was spotless. Beside him sat First Officer Farik Abdul Hamid, just 27 years old. He was relatively inexperienced, with around 2,800 flying hours. The aircraft itself was a Boeing 777-200ER, one of the safest planes ever built. It had no known mechanical issues. Flight Tiga Tujunal was a routine red-eye from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing. The plane carried enough fuel for about 7.5 hours. Weather conditions were clear. There were no storms or turbulence forecast along the route. The crew passed all pre-flight checks. They were in good spirits, chatting with air traffic control. On board were 239 people from 14 different nations. Among them, 20 employees of a Chinese electronics company. By the way, if you like this discussion, don't forget to subscribe. There are many more interesting topics coming up. Lightbulb. There was also a group of artists returning from an exhibition. Families, friends, strangers, all united by a single flight. The flight was uneventful until it reached the boundary between Malaysian and Vietnamese airspace. At 1:19 a.m., something went terribly wrong. The plane vanished from civilian radar screens. No distress call, no warning, just silence. But military radar tracked something strange. The plane had turned back, flying across the Malay Peninsula. It then headed south, into the vast emptiness of the southern Indian Ocean, a place where no one would look. Everything about that night was normal, until it wasn't. The stage was set for one of the greatest mysteries of our time. The search began in the South China Sea, where the plane was last seen on radar. But days of scanning found nothing. No debris, no oil slick, no sign of the Boeing 777. Then, a breakthrough. Satellite data revealed the plane had flown for hours after disappearing. It was not where everyone thought it was. The plane had made a sharp turn back across the Malay Peninsula, then another turn, heading south into the vast, empty Indian Ocean. The Australian Transport Safety Bureau took charge of the underwater search. They scoured an area the size of Greece, over 120,000 square kilometers. For months, the search found nothing but ocean floor, no wreckage, no black boxes. The silence was deafening. Then, in July 2015, a piece of a wing washed up on Réunion Island. A flaperon, confirmed to be from Tiga Tujunal finally. Proof the plane had crashed into the ocean. More debris followed. Pieces of the plane found on beaches in Mozambique, South Africa, and Tanzania, each one a grim clue. Scattered by currents, Despite these finds, the main wreckage remained hidden. The search was suspended in 2017 after 3 years. No answers, only more questions. A private company, Ocean Infinity, took up the hunt in 2018. They used advanced drones to scan the seabed. But after months, they too found nothing. The official report concluded the plane likely ran out of fuel and crashed into the ocean. But the cause of the deviation remains unknown. There was no evidence of mechanical failure. The plane was one of the safest ever built. So why did it turn? The investigation offers no clear answer. The investigation has been criticized for lack of transparency. Different countries shared information slowly. Families felt left in the dark. AI is changing everything fast. Don't get left behind. Discover the latest AI business ideas before they go viral at Horizon Radar. Link in description. The lack of closure haunts the families. They still wait for answers. The mystery of 370 remains one of aviation's greatest unsolved puzzles. The search may be over, but the questions linger. What really happened in the cockpit that night? The truth may never be known. When the official report failed to provide answers, a vacuum formed, and into that vacuum rushed a flood of conspiracy theories, each more unsettling than the last. The most chilling theory points directly at the man in command. Captain Zahari Ahmad Shah. Did he deliberately fly the plane into the ocean? Investigators found a flight simulator in his home. It contained a route eerily similar to the plane's final path into the southern Indian Ocean. They also discovered he had strong political views. He had attended a trial of a Malaysian opposition leader, which some say fueled a motive, but his family and friends reject this theory. They describe him as a devoted father and a passionate pilot who loved his job. Theory 2 suggests a hijacking by terrorists, but no group ever claimed responsibility, and the passengers' backgrounds were thoroughly checked. Some point to 2 Iranian passengers who boarded with stolen passports, but investigations later cleared them of any terror links. Theory 3 involves Russia. Some believe the plane was shot down during a military exercise, or even flown to Kazakhstan. Proponents point to Russia's history of downing civilian aircraft, but no wreckage has ever been found in that region. Theory 4 claims the U.S. military accidentally shot down the plane during a training exercise. The government then covered it up. Skeptics ask, why would the U.S. cover up a mistake? And why would the satellite data show the plane flying for hours afterward? Then there are the more outlandish theories: alien abduction, a Bermuda Triangle-style vortex, or a secret government experiment gone wrong. Some believe the plane landed safely on a remote island. They point to Diego Garcia, a U.S. military base, as a possible hiding spot, but satellite imagery of the area shows no sign of a Boeing 777, and the plane's fuel would have run out long before reaching land. Ultimately, these theories persist because the truth is too painful. For the families, any explanation is better than no explanation at all. Hi everyone! Quick reminder: subscribe for high-quality daily content. Sparkle's next episode: a plot twist you won't expect. Subscribe now. Face screaming in fear.